the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I'll be talking about why women can't find a good man. So I do these YouTube lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, you guys could show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. Hi, sup Chevlin, sup Zach, Ice Creams, I see you. Yeah, so that's how you can support me, or hit the like button, share it to your friends, let them know about this information, because I think this is going to be really helpful for a lot. Yeah, I'm 2 minutes late. I just need to end it a little bit earlier, I think. Anyways, so I'll have a recap, and then I have 4 slides I'll be talking about today. What's up, Tracy? Welcome. So my recap episode is about love is allowing. What, right? Like, what is love? And I think, me personally, I have a pretty good understanding about love, and what love is and what it should be. Everybody has their own preferences, and that's absolutely, hey, you could have all, you deserve to have your own opinions about things. So no, you're not late. But anyways, love is allowing. And the slide is on, you must pick a sacrifice, right? You must pick a sacrifice. So let's start out with the quote of Jim Rohn, which is, we must all suffer one of 2 things. So Robin, we must all suffer one of 2 things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret or disappointment. Jim Rohn, right? So if you think about it, everything that we do as a person, as an individual, we do things to either avoid pain, or we do it to gain pleasure, right? Why do we work? We work so that we have money, right? So that you don't have to be, so that you got a roof over your head, so that you have food on the table, so that you have things that you could do, right? Maybe go on a vacation, right? Those are 1 or 2 things. So you got to pick a sacrifice. Now, going back, who you become is always more important than what you get. Who you become, because the person you become, you could always, that's your character trait. And then there are character flaws in people. I have flaws, everybody has it. But it's your goal to start like, yo, what are some things that I could work on? Because 1, that's kind of humbling too at the same time, and 2, it's like, I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I'm not too worried about other people's business, right? Because it's easy to stick your nose into somebody else's business, because you don't have to do anything for yourself. You could be like, oh, they should do this and they should do that, right? People could say a lot of things, but how many people could point the fingers back at themselves and be like, I need to work on this because I used to be angry, jealous, needy, and all that, right? Like, how many people can do that? I'm filling out paperwork right now. No, you good. Take your time, man. And I appreciate you here, Mr. Ice Creams. Mr. Ice Creams. The only guy in here, unless Yaku stops by. But all right. You must choose a life of discipline or disappointment. And discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Okay, so I've never really heard, or at least from all the interviews that I've ever watched, I've never heard of anybody that ever said, I wish I worked more on their deathbed. Most of the time, it's usually people like, I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I was like this, and I wish more like that, right? And do you want to be on the deathbed and wish you spent more time with your family, or maybe you just spend time with your family? So Lily, according to your flaws and habits, it's difficult because we have to put our pride down. Your pride. You have to put your pride down. Absolutely. And this is the psych major, right? This is a psych major. I want to work less now. Why do you say that, Robin? Okay. Anyways, I'm moving on. We got a psych major in here. All right. So this is great. I love it, right? Now, if you think you understand relationship, health, fitness, and or finances, learn more and become better. Discipline yourself. So whatever, there's always going to be an area of your life where you could improve on. You could always improve on an area of your life. You could always do that, right? but it's how much time and dedication that you're willing to set aside to learn it. So, hey, maybe you have an 8-hour shift and commuting takes an hour, right? What are you doing when you get back home? Are you working out? Maybe working out takes another hour, right? Are there any other things that you're doing for yourself to build you who you are? And so I talked about character and charisma before, and charisma requires the presence of another person. That's charisma. And you need charisma, because if you don't have charisma, there is absolutely, like, if you just someone that does not know how to speak to people, your social, is it EQ? Social EQ, it's just super, super low. No one's really gonna want to talk to you. No one's, no one, or you're gonna have uh less likelihood to for someone, unless they're really interested and they approach you, right? But it's like, well, can you hold a conversation? What else can you do? You know what I mean? Like, so there's charisma, which is still important, but if that's all you have, that's not going to be good if you lack character, and your character is destiny. If you're a person with character, you say what you mean, you have integrity, you're humble, you're open, you're empathetic, right? These are just examples. And if you're that type of person that have these positive traits, why wouldn't other people be more inclined to want to listen and speak with you and understand you, and they trust you? And not only that, you're true to yourself. You're not trying to be somebody that you're not. And in today's world, that's very, very difficult. Most people have to put up this front and call that confidence, because they're too afraid of being who they are, right? I've people told me, Mitchell, you too fucking skinny. I'm like, but I like dancing and I don't want to be big. And if I choose to be big, yelling and screaming at me to get bigger isn't gonna make me want to get bigger. Like, I have to understand a reason why. Give me a reason. And the reason why most people yell is because they want something from you, or they want, I mean, there could be many reasons, but behind anger is fear, right? And if we want to work in a place where we start collaborating with each other, which is much better than yelling and screaming, right? From a place of very competitiveness, then yeah, learn how to communicate. Start reading books. The problem is people are caught up in their social norms and don't want to face judgment. Yeah, like I sometimes if you see me walking and I'm listening to music, I'm dancing. I'm dancing. I'm moving the shit out of my feet. Damn, I missed the travel talk. So, yeah, you might see me skip a little bit. I'm like, do a little spin, right? Michael Jackson, hit it, right? Personally, I choose being comfortable. I choose being comfortable. Being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Yeah. And that's a choice that's not easy to make. It's not easy to make, but hey, but if you get out of it, like if you always did what you always done, you're always gonna get what you always got, right? So success is nothing more than a few disciplines practiced every day, right? So what was it? Simon Sinek, he talked about what is love, and what are the things that you do every single day. And he gave the example of what happens if you never brush your teeth, you never take care of it, but you go to the dentist. So anything that you do in the extreme, it's not going to sustain, right? Like the dentist is good, but you still have to brush your teeth consistently. Otherwise, your teeth will fall off. The same goes with love. If you don't love and you cherish that person, and you don't listen to them, you don't understand them, you don't understand where they're coming from, right? And that comes from a place of vulnerability, because you're trying to understand them. And if they see that as weakness and they're trying to take advantage of you, then that's probably not the right person for you. But the right person will be like, wow, this person's really good for me. This person tries to listen to my problems. Like, how often are you going to have somebody that has that mindset of, let me put you first, because I will take care of me for you. I'm already taken care of. You can't give what you don't have. So I want to be able to listen to you and be like, what's wrong? Baby, what's wrong? Or, hey, what happened? Why did he pick on you? What happened? Who caused the fight? X, Y, and Z. You got to break that down, right? Learn how to tag people up in here. But anyways, let's move on. So I encourage you all to always pick something that's meaningful, that as opposed to something that's meaningless, right? So Jordan Peterson said it best. You must choose something that's meaningful, not something that's expedient. Those are not his word. Like it's not word for word, but it's pretty close. Basically means like do something that's meaningful to you. Like what's a meaningful life? What do you want to do? What are you here on this earth to do? What's your purpose? What do you focus on? My focus and my purpose, my mission in life is to help other people become better people. Why? Because I believe that if I have better people in my life will be better too. And if I surround myself with that, and I am more encouraged to think about that every single day of my life, and I want to better myself, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever, I am going to move up in that scale, right? And someone said it best. I think it was Julian. He said, usually what people are when they vibrate at a higher vibration, or they start and usually associated with positive feelings, right? Higher vibration. They start seeing things as facts. You see reality as it is. What's up, Jackie? You see reality as it is, and you don't think anything of that, and you don't ignore reality, because we all know that if you ignore reality, there's consequences. You can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. That's just the facts. So now you start focusing on the facts. You bottom line their actions. This is who they are. This is what they're doing. This is why they're doing it. Now you can ask them reasons of why they did it, right? But you can't change their character, right? Now, someone that works at a lower vibration, they're more competitive. They view things as why things are happening to me, not for you, right? But everything's happening to me, right? The government, the friends, everybody always leaves me, right? It's like, well, you have to participate in your own rescue. So how are you going to do that? Well, pick an area of your life and start focusing on that. What's one thing you want to improve on? And it's so small, and you won't see it right away. And I think that's part of the reason why most people don't value it, is because we don't see instant or instant gratification of am I improving? It's so small that we place a lower value into it. But you got to trust the process. You got to trust the process, because shit, I was in a deep dark hole in my life at one point, and I thought I could never get out of it. And it wasn't until I started like understanding things. Yeah, it's a process, right? And you got to love the process too, because slowly, little by little, you start attracting the right people into your life. It doesn't mean bad people won't come in, but you learn, like you're sensitive, like, is it, you're just way more sensitive, and you start seeing things as they are. You're like, yo, this person doesn't seem like the right person in my life. They could they could do whatever they like, as long as it doesn't affect my life, right? And you have the ability to walk away from it, because then you place yourself at a higher value, and you value yourself, right? If you don't appreciate the process, you won't appreciate the results. Yeah. And for the people coming in here, we got psych major. We got a psych major, so I get to learn things too. So that's always great. Um, so, anyways, meaningful life. A meaningful life, you want to take responsibilities, right? Everything matters. Everything you do happens for you, not to you, right? And but you caused it, right? You learn from it. You reap what you sow, right? A meaningless life would be something like, well, you don't really want to take responsibility for anything. You don't take any type of accountability. Nothing really matters, and it's everybody's fault. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, yeah. I realized I'm not that special. That's the, like, if you stop believing that you're that special, and you don't place like this sense of like, oh, I'm important, because who doesn't? Who doesn't? Everybody wants to feel important. And it's one of our basic human needs. But to understand that you're not that special, you're just trying to understand yourself more. It must start from here, right? Not out there. And a lot of people, they social norms, you start buying things, right? Clothes, cars, whatever. None of that will, it's attainable happiness temporarily, but it's not sustainable, right? A meaningful life is. So do something that's more meaningful, not what's expedient, not what's something that's going to give you that instant gratification. So, right, like brushing your teeth, like going to the gym, like being mentally resilient. That's fucking sexy as shit. All right, I'm gonna let you know that right now. Someone that knows how to hone their craft of, hey, yo, I'm pissed off right now. It doesn't mean that you suppress your emotions. You acknowledge those. Why am I jealous? I'm jealous right now. Why? It's because I don't think that I don't think I'm that good yet. Okay. Well, what's the solution? Well, if I want to get better, it's going to take time. I know that. Maybe I got to start by listening to Mitchell Tang's podcast, or start reading books, right? Start reading books, just other people too as well, right? Not just me, but I'm just saying. Example. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate y'all. I should sell those Pokemon cards I just bought. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I look at my Pokemon cards all the time. They serve its purpose. I look at it, it's mine, right? But that doesn't define me, right? Now, let's talk about the first thing, which is the first slide. Men stop acting like men. That's what it is, right? Society, right? Society has done a lot of things to us, but men stop acting like men. Okay, needy, insecure men. There's a lot of them out there. Okay, dime a dozen, right? You go out there, they're all out there. Okay, you just can't spot them until, and some people put up a better front than most people, and they could lie to you until their character starts to be revealed, right? Once little things happen, once other guy starts looking at you, it's like, no, if you're my girl, and I know if if you're my girl and some guy is looking at you, hell yeah. Why wouldn't? You're fucking gorgeous. Of course they're gonna look at you. And you're a beautiful person inside and out. Why wouldn't they want you? Absolutely. They would want you. That's why I chill. Who wants somebody that nobody wants? The faucet can last only so long. What do you mean by that? And what is that referring to, by the way? But so society, movies, social media, music, right, told us men to be assertive, right? Great, and I absolutely believe in that. But here's the other side of the coin, right? Yet we constantly misinterpret that as being a dick. Be assertive. Know what you want. I gotta be a fucking asshole. No, absolutely not. No. So that's why it goes back to, like, guys could be nice guys. You could be nice. Just don't be a pushover. Hey, look. If you think I'm weak because I'm being nice, try testing me. And you probably won't ever hear from me ever again. Because why? I don't need this type of people. Like, there's 7 billion people, okay? If you're not that important to me, you're not gonna be in my life, okay? And there are way more miserable people out there than there are good people. And so you want to at least align yourself with the right people. And that's why it's so important to, and that's why this journey is so interesting too, because people come and go, right? Relationships, friendships, coworkers, strangers, everybody, they come and go, right? So variety being one of the basic human needs too. We have a lot of variety in life. My brain fogged. I meant facade. Yeah, yeah. I thought faucet was like. Anyways, I was like, did I say something? But anyways, let's see. Here's also another thing. When men stop acting like men, right? You can still know what you want without being an ass. Okay, you can still know what you want without being an ass. The same goes with being nice without being a pushover or a doormat, right? People stepping all over you. And here's the absolute truth for the guys in here that's listening, right? If the woman does not respect you, she's not gonna love you. She's not gonna love you. And so, and you have to understand how attraction works. And I this is why I don't know. Okay, I'm just making there's a hypothesis, right? Educated guess, where it's great to understand, like, how the brain works too, but it's also important to understand how attraction works. Attraction works differently, right? And so if you understand attraction, that first is attraction, and then with enough attraction, there comes love, right? So that's the courtship, that's the dating and courting phase, right? Boom. Attraction, love, right? So what ends up happening afterwards when you get too complacent, when you stop listening to her, you stop understanding her, you stop dating and courting her, what happens, right? Attraction leaves. And once attraction leaves and you bombard her, oh my God, I can change, give me another chance, please, right? All that needy, insecure behavior coming from a place of weakness as opposed to strength. Because a woman needs to feel your strength in order to respect you and love you and want to be with you. And if she doesn't, then she's not going to respect you. All right. You need to yeah, if you did what you did in the beginning of the relationship, there wouldn't be an end. There wouldn't be an end, right? Simple as that. It's simple. It's not easy. Consistency is really difficult. It's like, so you telling me I gotta go to the gym for my entire life? Yeah. Or you could work out at home. You could do other activities, right? You just got to do things to move. Our bodies are meant to move. Anyways, if you got to do it, you just got to do it, right? And if you dreading it already, it's not going to be an easy ride, right? Right? Quick question. Sometimes I can't see her every week. I took a week off. She thinks I'm letting her go. Well, so Jackie, that's good, because when it comes to attraction, it is always better if she wants to see you more. So that's a girl saying I am showing interest in you. So that's a good sign, right? Now, your job next is to kind of let her know that, hey, you know what? I'm just busy. Let's schedule blah 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 blah, right? Because you're a busy man. You got things to do, and that's okay, right? And same for her. I was told, if you really love that person, you wouldn't run away and talk. You wouldn't run away, talk to your friends. You'd sit there and work it out. Yeah. Now, if there's that fine line, like, are they yelling, screaming, and all that too, right? So, you gotta communicate. I want someone I don't want a drama. Like, I want a drama-free life. I don't want somebody that's always looking for altercations. That's not what I want. Yes. But with Jackie's thing, I would need to know more about that before giving, my full. I wish every goes. That's what's up, Tracy. But anyways, moving on. So confidence is to a woman what beauty is to a guy, right? So having that true confidence. What is true confidence? Being able to be you without putting up this front. Okay. Now that's an umbrella term. It's difficult to be yourself, especially if you're gonna be judged. But most people, who doesn't want to be a little silly? Who doesn't want to be a little silly? Who doesn't want to have fun and be like, damn, that's kind of cool? You ever did something and then like a stranger was like, that's actually kind of cool, like that you could be yourself, right? Where you're just not yelling and screaming in the streets, but yeah, you're having a good time with your friends, right? And people like seeing people having a good time. Well, some people, some people don't, right? So yeah, it's easy to fall into a trap. People blaming, being a victim, right? Others because you've been hurt. Lily says the love language is if she's insecure, she needs reassurance. But if you're not doing it in her love language, she won't feel. Yeah, the 5 love language. Is it Gary Chapman? That's a good one too. So you should understand the love language. That hey, what do they want? Do they need words of affirmation, physical touch? Sometimes not a lot, but some people gifts. I think gifts is on the bottom. I think small gifts. Oh, you bought me Tootsie Rolls. I love Tootsie Rolls, right? I don't like Tootsie Rolls. They're alright. So anyways, it's men stop being like men. It's easy to fall into this trap, especially if you've been hurt. It's easy to go your own way and be like, ugh, I don't want you. Like, I don't. F woman. F this, F that. I don't need to do anything. It's their fault. No. You can't. I mean, you can. You're just not going to live a happy, healthy life with your significant other. I mean, you can settle with it, and most people do. And if that's your choice, who am I to say? Who am I to tell you how you should live, right? So, pain, if it doesn't kill us, will let us know how we should behave. So remember the example of like what happens when you squeeze an orange and what happens when you squeeze a lemon, right? You get orange juice, you get lemon juice. So what happens when life squeezes you? What happens when life pressures you? What comes out? And for most people, anger, frustration, and as you should feel those emotions, right? But how you react to that, that's how your character is going to be judged. Okay, so are you someone that can hold things in, that you don't suppress it? This is not the time and place for it. And I'm going to talk to you. I'm pissed off. I'm mad of what you did. I felt like you betrayed my trust, but I'm not gonna overreact right now because number one, I'm not in the right mindset. And number two, I need to collect my thoughts before I say something. Before I say something that's really fucked up. So, and that's that little tiny thing. That's the difference that makes a difference. She needs to respect your time. Codependency can be a problem. Yeah, there's a lot of codependency nowadays. Let's see. So if you've been betrayed, cheated on as a guy, you could either one seek revenge by taking it out on other women. That's I've seen men do that. Okay, or you can understand and allow yourself to grow. Be like, okay, she's a cheater. She cheated. She has low integrity. She doesn't value commitment. She doesn't really value me because maybe there's something I'm lacking, and that kind of sucks. But it's humbling. It's like, hey, there's nothing you could do about a cheater, but at the same time, what can you do to improve? There has to be something along the line that caused her to do it. Now, if she's gonna cheat on you, you can only delay the inevitable, right? But something that you did, maybe she found someone, a prospect that was better than you, whatever that is. What is your mission? What is your focus? What do you want to do? And how are you going to improve on that? Like I said, there's nothing you can do about a cheater, but there's something. Maybe you were a catalyst that made that person cheat a lot faster. Okay, what was it? What was that? So it's easy. Like it's then you can start picking things out where you can start growing from. And so, and if you're a person that allows yourself to grow and being open to being wrong and understanding that and letting yourself like, hey, yo, I could work on this. Hey, maybe I have been slacking off. Oh, this is a taboo subject. Oh, which part? The cheating part? Or but anyways, let me move on. Let me move on cuz I have a few more things. The cheating part. Yeah. Why is that? Why is that a taboo part? Okay, hold on, let me see. So growing takes time. It's not immediate, so we place a lower value onto it, right? But if you choose a path to grow and let pain be your teacher, you understand that things happen for you, right? Things don't happen to me; it happens for me. But I can understand it. It's difficult to be in this place and being set in your own ways, and I'm willing to understand. Like, look, holding on to the like pain is pain is inevitable, but suffering, like you could choose whether you want to suffer or not, right? And it's it all calls from your it all starts from thought. So thoughts creates emotions, emotions create feelings, feelings is what drives behavior. So what is your behavior? You can see cheating as an opportunity to grow and learn more for without seeing it as a lesson. Okay. um maybe not so much cheating. So monkey branching, right? Bridging along. Like if you are going to cheat on that person, end it. That's how I personally see things. End it with that person before you move on and do whatever you're gonna do with the other person. Because if you're not happy in a relationship, then you should absolutely let them know, hey, I'm not happy. I don't want to be here anymore. And maybe you did find somebody else. Then give that a shot, but leave that relationship first. Because then have you ever had a breakup where you had this enlightening moment and you're like, I did the best in my ability that I could, and I've did everything that I could for this relationship, and it wasn't right, and and that person decided to not be with me, and that's okay. But if you walked away saying, I did that, I was the person that I wanted to be, and I've never broke. I never went against my character, right? Was it cognitive dissonance? Is when you start believing, and it's this uncomfortable tension where your mind doesn't. It goes against what you truly value, right? What you believe, and you stayed in alignment of who you are as a person. Like you could walk away from that relationship even though it sucks. The pain is still kind of like, damn, I miss that person, right? You're still human, you're not a robot. But wow, like you ever walked away from that and was like, I did the best I could, and hey, you know what, maybe I could do it. I know I could do it somewhere else, because these are and I'm still gonna grow, right? You must you must be content with who you are, but pursue all that you want. So hey, you know what, Mitchell, you're still gonna be. I'm still gonna want to grow more and more and more and apply those knowledges. Oh, thank you, Lily. Stop. Stop it. If you're not happy, end it. Yep. Yeah. So growing takes time. Growing takes time. But that's why we don't place high value into it because yeah. Anyways, I want to move on to the next topic, which is feminism, right? The elites. So nowadays, people say that there's a lot of like being masculine is something that's being toxic. I get it. This topic could be offensive to some people, but I always try to see both sides of the coin, anyways. So if you take out masculinity and you're feminine, you're a feminine person, okay? So this goes for any type of relationship, but like I said, you could be gay, lesbian, any type of relationship. You need polar opposites, okay? You need that sexual polarity in your relationship to work. That's what you need. And there's a reason why relationships fall apart. It's because men, and to like I said, to make things simple, men are more masculine. Okay, let's just keep it simple, right? Masculine men in a heterosexual relationship, masculine men, feminine women. The reason why most relationship falls apart is because either the guy, maybe there's some past traumas that they got, okay? They're insecure, they're whatever, right? Let's talk about a healthy person, okay? A healthy person, and a guy, he starts to act masculine in the beginning of the relationship, and then he gets jealous, insecure. He's saying all these things to, oh, he's trying to do this and do that. Check it. But yeah, it's like, and then he starts vacillating between being masculine and being feminine. And now and if you going back and forth, it's gonna cause the girl to be like, I don't know who I'm dating anymore. Like, is he a guy? Is he this man, right? This masculine person. Is he masculine? Is he not? Like, it's causing her to like be kind of confused. And feminine energy is finding certainty. It's they need to know that person. That's why a lot of women, they test a lot of men. They test men to see whether or not he is a grounded person. Are you the mountain that's not going to be moved by the wind, or that rock in the ocean that's not going to be pushed by the waters? So, and because if you understand that, it's almost not, I wouldn't say a joke, but it's almost like, wow, you could kind of look at it and be like, you could see it from a mile away, and you're like, you're not going to be bothered by her woman's ever-changing emotions, because it's like the weather. You never know what you're going to get, right? And if you, sometimes the sun shines, and sometimes clouds, and sometimes there's a storm, there's clouds. It's not always nice, right? But hey, you know what? You know that the sun will always shine eventually. And if it doesn't, because they're just a very gloomy person, then you know who you're not going to associate yourself with them. You should end it. If you're not happy in that relationship, communicate first. Don't just end it, but communicate. I'm not happy in this relationship. Why? Well, it's because every single time I try to talk to you, I get this, I don't want to talk to you, blah, 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 right? Yeah, men, yeah, it is. And it goes for both too, but I know what you mean when you say men's mental health, because, we get into this kind of stigma of, we have to do this, we have to do that. Like, women care about money. Yes, they do. Obviously, because it's, can you support us? Am I going to survive? It's a survival thing, right? And it's hardwired 200 something thousand years, right? So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. But anyways, let's go back to like the feminism part, right? Where they're trying to strip away, like, they're trying to demasculate men. They're trying to strip away our balls. Masculine energy is necessary. Same thing, we need feminine energy. Masculine and feminine. So what I love most about this quote, and I said it plenty of times, is what Tony Robbins says. He's like, what makes a relationship work is things in common. What makes a relationship passionate are things that are different in energy, both masculine and feminine. So as a guy, more masculine energy, but I do have feminine energy in me, but it helps smooth out the rough edges that I have, right? It allows me to be a little bit more empathetic, where I'm not just like, it's a straight robot, I don't give a shit about how you feel. This is how a man is, right? You should do this. I'm making the money, right? You should already have food at the table when I'm home, right? Shit like that. Like, no, like it means that, hey, how's your day been, babe? You should watch. I need to take. I'm gonna take screenshots of this. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. Okay, I took a screenshot. To be so much pressure for men to be pillar. There, I don't know how true this is. I think there was a lady that pretended to be a guy for like a month, and she was like, "This is the most difficult thing. It's easy for me to be masculine, but I was taught to be nice. So often, what's hard, what's difficult is that dichotomy. Yeah, it's hey, I was taught to be nice too, and I was always nice, and it wasn't until I started understanding like what is nice and who should I be nice to, and start setting and enforcing those boundaries, right? Like, and being who I am, going for what I want. Because I was nice without direction. I didn't have an aim. I didn't have anything. I didn't know what I wanted. So obviously, if I don't respect myself, no one else is gonna respect me. Um, moving on though. Moving on. Assertiveness should never be confused with aggression. Okay, so guys should be assertive. Know what you want. Go for what you want. But you shouldn't be angry about it. So it goes back to, you don't take shit from people, but you also don't lose your shit. Okay, being cool, calm, and collected, composed is much more attractive to a feminine person. Okay, feminine woman in this case, because I'm just using heterosexual relationships to keep things simple. And true attraction is built on that confidence of being who you are without being apologetic about it. Look, if I want to dance in the street because I hear music, I'm gonna fucking dance. I don't need your validation. I don't need to justify why I did it. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm having a good time, right? And as long as you're doing things for yourself, and people will have, yeah, be unshamed, right? And be who you are. And you must be who you are, and who you should be is not important. Um but, this goes for like the feminists, the elites, if you will. Um and there's also this whole other side, which is MGTOW. The men go their own way. F women. I don't want to do this. And then you got the red pill. Women are like this. And it's like, come on, like we have to understand each other to collaborate with each other. You see how competitive that is? This side versus this side, right? Left, right. It's very competitive. But if you try to understand each other, but they're seeking power and tyranny. That is not a relationship. You don't. The worst part about being in a relationship is having someone trying to control you, belittle you, hold you down, suppress you. Like, that is the opposite of being supportive. Oh, you want to cook? You want to be a chef? I will be your guinea pig. I love it when you cook. What do you want to try to make? Let me go. Hey, you know what? I'm working, but I could stop by the blah 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 along the way, and I could pick some up, some ingredients, whatever, right? That could help you, right? And then you keep it playful and fun, because it's love. Love is playful and fun. So you keep it kind of light, and that's what love is. You keep it light, and you'd be like, oh, what is it? Oh, I love it when you do that, and you encourage the other person to be who they are, and they're gonna love you more for that. And you allow them to be who they are, and allow them. Why would they want to leave? People don't leave good people, okay? Unless they do something that betray your trust, and then that's your choice. You'd be like, nah, you know what? You cheated. You slept with that person. I'm out. I'm out. Right? I'm out. Anyways, going back to this whole MGTOW thing, it's very competitive. But if you're in a state of mindset of being more collaborative, right? You're gonna be much more loving, much more caring, right? You're going to be more courageous. You're gonna have more confidence, and with confidence, you're gonna build more competence. So you're going to build who you are as a person. You're gonna be great at doing it. Why? Because you love what you're doing. You can continue doing that, and you're doing something to serve greater than yourself, and you're applying that knowledge to help other people, and you're giving them hope, and you're supporting them to be. Who wouldn't want that? Yes, I do understand it takes a lot of time, right? It takes a lot of time to encourage people. It takes a lot of time and effort. You don't see results right away, but just like going to the gym, you don't see results right away. It takes time. Okay. Moving on though. Moving on. But How do we expect each other? How do we expect to work together if we all hate and dislike each other, right? So you attract what you put out. So if you put out great energy, you're going to be more likely to attract greater people and greater likable people into your life, right? Like attracts like, and life fills voids. So if you feel empty inside and you're desperate for love and you lack character and you do things just to fill your temporary fulfillment, right? It's kind of easy to kind of see where your life is going to end up. Oh, dude, that's just cracked. I was doing shoulders. I gotta check into that. But it's easy. Being cognitive, yeah. Being aware of who you are. Hey, Mitch, cross it. 15 minutes. Okay. All right, Tracy. Thanks for letting me know. And so this is my part, right? You must, like, I could only lead you to that water, right? This very cliche thing, right? Like, I'm not your dad. I'm not this person. You can live the life that you want to live, right? And I won't tell you how you should behave, but this is just if you want to separate yourself from other people. And like I said, life is full of miserable people that hates life, or they're very unhappy. If you don't want to be a part of that category, you got to participate in your own rescue. You got to start doing things for yourself. Take action. Apply this knowledge. All right? So, and this also means that other people you want that you don't want in your life will start coming into your life too, right? Like attracts like, but also you're still gonna attract other people, but you're gonna be more sensitive. You're gonna be more aware. Like, is this person, like, I know people like you. I'm not gonna surround myself with this, right? I think it was Jim Rohn that says you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. I think there's more. I could be wrong, but hey, so far what I do know is when I start surrounding myself with positive, like-minded people that aligns with my goals and values, these are all great. Like, I've never felt so much better in my life. Do I have bad days still? Absolutely. Do I get sick? Yeah, I do. It's a part of life. But my life. All right, Chevelin. Thank you. It's always good to see you. Thank you. And have a great weekend. All right. But yeah. So yeah, you're gonna be more sensitive, and you're gonna properly vet these people into your life, right? I really like. I'll post it. It'll be posted. Okay, but there's more. Next one is we stop working together. Okay, I have another about 15 minutes, so let's see what I could get through with this. So we stop working together. That's another thing, right? We're so like blaming each other that we stop working on ourselves, because it's much easier to blame other people. I could just blame the government on why I don't have a lot of money. It's easy to blame, right? That's why Jerry Springer was so successful, because you see other people, their life is miserable, and I don't need to do anything, because look at them. They're worse than me. I have a pretty good life. Look at them. I don't have to do shit. Right? Absolving yourself from problems, issues. So we start working together, and we start working on yourself, right? Blaming others, absolving yourself from problems. And here's the thing too, it builds a lot of resentment eventually. It builds resentment. Because like attracts like. And if you're always blaming other people for shit, and bad news travel faster than good news, and they hear that shit, you're gonna get a lot of resentment. Like, this person's a piece of shit. I didn't do anything to them. Or maybe you did, but still, it's not gonna attract good company. You know what I mean? And people stop working on themselves. They start blaming other people, right? Life with no personal accountability is a life of stagnation. Growth is needed, just like we need love and connection, variety, significance, certainty, and contribution to life, right? One of those 6 basic human needs. But growth, we need growth. We need to learn to grow. So that's why reading books it's so great. Like, you can still have fun, go to the club, drink, hang out with your friends. I'm doing that right now. I'm gonna camp. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna be drinking. But I don't do that every day. But when I go and do that, I do that because I am enjoying the company of my friends, right? I go there with a reason of I like those company, not because I'm unhappy and I need to be happy. There's a big difference between that. So, and the reason why, and here's, and Chevlin, if you're still in here, I hope this would be good for people that want someone that's grounded, right? And this is understanding what does grounded mean. Okay. So the reason why I'm not afraid is because even like if someone leaves my life and they don't want to be a part of that anymore, and I did the best that I could to be who I am, and I'm gonna explain this, then I know I did my part. But I know that it's people like this, and if they don't work on themselves, these are not these are people that are scarce. So work on yourself. Continue doing that. And the reason why I know that I know the value that I could bring to the relationship is because I know what is love. I know that love is an act. Love is giving. Love is never serious, and love is playful and fun. That's what love is. It's light. It's not heavy. It doesn't sit in the heart, right? Now you can still talk about serious things. You can still have some fun while talking about serious things, right? And still get your point across. You don't have to yell and scream about it. Number two, I know what is freedom. You let them come and go as they please. Setting and enforcing those healthy boundaries. Those are very important, right? So you already know what love is. And you know that love, freedom and love go hand in hand. And attraction too, right? Because freedom is that's the foundation of love and attraction. Allowing them freedom to come and go. And I can't stress how important this is. So if you guys are listening to this, you this is really good advice for you, all right? And freedom, since freedom is the foundation that builds love and attraction, and when a relationship fails, so I talked about this earlier, first it's attraction, and then comes to love. But what leaves is attraction first, and then love follows it, and that's when it exits. Okay. Now, also, this is a test of someone's character, right? The values. I know what I value. I know my values, right? I value communication. I value loyalty, integrity, and commitment. So, and those are just some of the things, right? I'm not going to go into detail, otherwise I'd be here forever. But I know my values as a person, and that's what I align with, and that's who I am. And having that, so I spoke about integrity too, whereas integrity is very easy to a lot of people, but it gets very, very fucking difficult if you have to go against what other people beliefs are. It means that there could be a loss. It means like, look, I'm not gonna participate in those activities because it goes against my values. Oh, I'm a party pooper. Well, you know what? I don't mean to be a party pooper, but I didn't know that you guys were gonna do this, and that's not what I associate with. And if you guys want to continue doing that, by all means, do it. Don't have me a part of it. And if it's too much, then don't invite me. It's okay. But I do like hanging around with you guys. But also, there's some things that goes against. And if you guys are continue to do that every single time, then maybe it's best if I'm not a part of it. It's best that I'm not a part of it. You know what I mean? And then you could walk away from it with your head held up high, right? So it's knowing your values and your integrity and knowing what you want. And that's sexy. That's part of true confidence, right? And I know who I am. I'm grounded. I know what I want. This is what I'm going for. I might not have everything that I want, that I have, but I know I'm going to pursue all that I want. Staying true to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why, like, that's a definite, like, you can have all the 6-pack abs, chiseled face, right? Nice, everything, right? Clothes, you smell great. You got a mansion. You got a nice, yeah, but you're full of shit. You're full of shit. And if you're full of shit, what comes out when life squeezes you, you're going to get more shit coming out, right? So this is why I stress so much about men, okay? Even though I'm talking about feminism and all that part of it, but I stress a lot on men. And I'm talking about masculine men. I'm not talking about the feminine men, okay? I'm talking about masculine men or masculine people or person. You're there to lead. You're there to lead. And if you stop leading, if you once led the relationship and you no longer lead the relationship, that feminine person in that relationship is going to feel like I don't know who this person is. It's getting me kind of confused. And you start acting more like the girl in the relationship, right? To keep things simple, you start acting like her. It's gonna destroy the sexual polarity. You're not gonna be this polar opposite. How are you gonna attract each other? That's why most people, when they live with each other, they get too complacent. You don't listen to them. You don't understand them, and you don't date and court them. You stop doing everything in the beginning of the relationship, and there is no relationship. And not only that, people settle, and when they settle, they're roommates. Whether you're in a marriage or you're just boyfriend girlfriend, if you could even call it that, right? Like you might get a little peck in the cheek, but I want someone that's enthusiastic about me. And if I'm not doing something right, I need to understand, hey, look, my job as a guy, my role as a dude in this relationship, because I'm a masculine guy, I need to make sure how is something bothering her, right? That's why I did that topic of when your woman is not wet, because unless she has something that's like like an illness or like whatever it is, there should be no reason why she's not wet for you. Okay, it means that you're not doing something right. I get it. It might be a topic that be like, ooh, I don't want to talk about it. Some people might like it, but there's a reason why. Yeah, she has to be wet. If she's not, it's like, oh my god, can you just finish? That's not that's glorified masturbation, all right? That's glorified masturbation. I want to have sex with you because you want to have sex with me. And we want each other. It's not just, oh, let me just let it loose. Because, hey, look, people have been very, how do we get here? It kind of get here sometimes. But it's important, right? It's important. And so, but even though sex is important, it's a small portion of that relationship. What's really important is how you, like, there's so many hours within the day. Of course, you're not going to spend every hour with each other, but even though it's such a short period, it's very intimate, right? And so you want to make sure that you're improving in different areas. Like, hey, if these are something to be aware of, right? So you're going to be more sensitive to different things. Intimacy is important, but than just sex, but it is important. Yeah. So it's a small portion. It's what mental stimulation is intimate, and so it takes time. That cutoff has me crying. What cutoff? So that's why I put so much stress on men to lead. It means that when you lead, you're not being controlling. You're not aggressive. You're allowing them to to submit. When I say submit, it means that to step back and allow that guy in their relationship, because I trust that guy. Take a step back. I trust him to take the lead because he's constantly showed me many times consistently that he is that person or the guy in the relationship, that he is this masculine person, and he goes for what he wants, and he gets things done, but he also understands me as a person, right? He listens to me when I'm upset, and he takes care of me. So it's not a way of like, oh, I'm dependent on this person. You also want a person that's not codependent on you. Oh my God, I'm unhappy. I need you around so I'm happy. No, I don't want that in my life. I want you to be happy without me, and I will be a good addition into your life, and that's a good relationship. Okay, so going back to the Jim Rohn, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me. So we do our own part. Yeah, and so that's why it's like in therapy too, right? Like I've heard stories. Now I haven't experienced this, but I've heard stories where there's this woman, this therapist, she was like, no, you have to have sex with this guy in order to save the relationship. I'm like, how? Like she just can't I mean, physically she just can, but mentally she's not there. So it's kind of like borderline, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, no, but it means that, hey, something along the way, the guy didn't show up correctly. So how are you doing that? Have you listened to her? Oh, every single time. So if she says every single time that I talk, he just interrupts me, it means that you're not listening to her. Okay. And when I tell him things, he's not listening. He's not listening. That's a woman's way of saying he doesn't understand me. Okay. And he doesn't do anything else. He's just always on the phone with his friends, or maybe he plays video games on his Xbox and yada, yada, yada. He doesn't, right? It feels like you're neglecting her, Okay. So the worst thing you could do to a girl is like, oh my God, I got these pretty nails. Did you like them? Or she comes to you, I got this new haircut. I got this new hair dye, whatever. How does it look? Drop what you're doing. Okay. Give it that time and be like, it looks absolutely gorgeous on you, baby. Come over here, right? Make her feel heard and understood. Make her, because she did it because she wants you to appreciate her as a person. So somewhere along the way, if that's happening, you can't just tell somebody to have sex with them, okay? But there are people out there, okay? So that's why it's important to understand how attraction works and what that dynamic is. And lastly, I have 5 minutes. So you've been hurt and you say things you don't mean, right? This goes to the trust part, right? I wish I had that quote by Fyodor Dostoevsky, but it's like a man that lies to himself and believes his own lies is unable to recognize truth, something like that, somewhere along the line. If you guys are interested, go search that up, read that multiple times. I should do that more often, but it's basically not knowing your truth, right? So you say things that you don't mean. Pathological liar. We're way past it. It's just downright hilarious sometimes. Men remind me that. I don't know why. So I don't want you say things that you don't mean, right? So as a woman, right, the reason why, and this topic is about why women can't find a good man. I'm not talking about men can't find a good woman, but specifically for women, it's when you say things that you really truly don't mean, unless you mean it. If you mean it, absolutely, more power to you. But if you don't mean it, don't say it. So, because things starts manifesting what you say, right? And if you say, oh, I don't want a man, they're too much problem, all men are the same, they all cheat and lie to you. Well, yeah, maybe because you keep dating, like you keep dating the same people. Or maybe all those guys says the same thing about you and you're just like avoiding it because you don't want to face that fear, because it hurts too much to acknowledge that, hey, maybe I am a cheater, or maybe I am this type of person. That sucks. It's not easy, but that's why I said vulnerability is a superpower. If you learn to hone that and you allow yourself to grow and to be a better person, oh, absolutely, who wouldn't want to be with you? But it takes time. And most people be like, forget it. What's the point of doing this? I'd rather just live a life like this, a meaningless life. And by all means, if that's what you want to do it. But hey, look, we're given this special chance to be here. I don't know what are the chances of us being here as opposed to hitting the lottery. All right, I think I hit the lottery already by being here. Right, I made it past the goalie. Okay, me, billions of sperm, me. Okay, I did it. Okay, you did it, Mitchell. So I'm celebrating that. I'm celebrating that right now. But that's actually considered a mental condition. Oh, which was that? Which part are you referring to? The mythomania? I gotta look into this. But so you've been hurt and you say things you don't mean, and you're saying things about men and all this, and it just goes back to like, are you properly screening your prospects? Are you properly screening them? Like, do they have something? It means that you want to align yourself. So that's why it's so important to align yourself with people with the same goals and values that you have, right? What do you like? I like someone that takes care of themselves. Why? Because I value health. I don't like smoking. Why? Because my dad used to smoke, okay? And I hated smoke. I was young, but anyways, there was a lot of smoke before, okay? I was very young, and then he's gone. Then there was no more smoke, but I still didn't like it. Yeah, I personally, I don't like cigarettes, okay? I don't participate in those type of things. And you know, I have people, friends or whatever that do certain things, and I'm just like, by all means, that's you. I don't want to be a part of it. And if I choose that I want to, then yes. But so far the answer is still no. Okay? But that's allowing, right? That's part of the love, is letting them be who they are, right? And so anyways, going back to the things you say things that you don't mean, okay? You don't properly screen your prospects, and You don't listen to like what's their history like. And I'm not saying that everybody that has a history of cheating are all cheaters, but I think there was a statistic, I don't know where, and I heard it somewhere, so don't quote me exactly on that, but I think 90 to 95% of people that, and I heard it from Coach Corey Wayne, and he says 90 to 95% of people that begin their relationship off cheating ends in cheating. So, I mean, it makes sense because yeah, they love you. They love you. Everything's heightened. Oh my God, you're the best man in my entire life. I've never met anyone like you. But what happens when the enthusiasm goes down? What happens when things get a little, it's not as interesting? Yeah. Yeah, she's out there doing other things, entertaining other guys. Like, hey, yeah. So if they did it to somebody else, they would do it to you. Chances are, right? So that's why past traumas. Hey, have they healed? Have they understand that? Like, hey, we all do things that we're not proud of sometimes, but be aware of it. Can you change that? And if you can, you're off to a good start. Whereas most people, they're out, they're doing other things. You're out here watching this podcast, reading books, right? Drinking green tea and shit. Just doing things for yourself, right? You're exercising. You're trying to look great for yourself, right? And who doesn't want to look good butt ass naked in a mirror? Okay, that's me as a personal trainer. What are your goals? Oh, I just want to do it. So you want to look good naked. Okay, great, got it. All right, what's your focus? Where do you want to be, right? Get them towards their goal, right? And just like a coach is, what are your goals? Oh, I want to get her back. Okay, what has she done? Well, she cheated on me. So she's a person that lacks character. She's a cheater. She's a liar, pathological liar. But you love her. Okay, are you sure you're just not like? Is this lust that you have? Like infatuation? Maybe you're an insecure person. You don't really believe that. You don't really think highly of yourself. Why? Because you haven't done anything to work towards that. Like this seems like it's maybe she's a cheater and a liar, but there's things that you could do on your end. Thanks for talk. I keep an eye out for the next life. Thank you. Is it Lilia? I've been calling you Lily. Yeah, it's great. It's great seeing you here. Thank you for coming. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this up. Let's see. So, suppressing your inner desires is going against who you are. So the same goes as pushing down your emotions to feel less empty. You prefer Lily? Okay. All right, Lily. Great to have you. Let me know more about things too, because I'm interested. I want to read a little bit more too. So if you're in pain and you find yourself suffering over the same type of pain, be aware of those and face those emotions. So you gotta face fear. You gotta punch fear in the face and understand why you're feeling that way. What you fear, you attract, and it will keep coming. Okay. And what you look at disappears. So face it. Once you start facing the fear, it's usually not that bad. Your mind, it destroys you, right? Those limiting beliefs. So you then just fill yourself with people with low value, low integrity, participating in things that doesn't really bring joy to you, but kind of put a band-aid on it, right? And you're living life temporarily for those temporary moments. You're not, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. So when you look back, you're like, holy shit, right? So that's why you got to do things to start preventing stuff. And, you can make a pretty good educated guess on somebody if that's all they do. They only look forward to that Friday to just do that. And I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm just saying that maybe they just don't have a lot of ambitions. Having ambitions, going for what you want, believing in yourself, allowing yourself growth, right? Fulfilling your things that are meaningful to you. That to me is a life worth living for, worth aiming at. And yeah, but if you hang around with people that lacks a sense of direction, it's how are you expected to improve? I'm so motivated, Jack. Oh, so Jackie, I want to talk about this too. As important as this is, and I'm not downing what I'm talking about, but this is, and Julian spoke about this. He's talked about how this is a quote unquote. Have you ever been to a seminar or a place and things, it's like you get this high off of it, right? This seminar high, this speech type of high. And those, like, one thing to be aware of is pick a few things off of that, write a list, keep a list right now since it's fresh, write it down. Like, I'm serious, pen and paper, whatever, get it down and pinpoint one or two things that you really want to focus on, because right now you're motivated, but to stay motivated you want to do things that emotionally is compelling for you to want to continue doing it, right? A reason on doing it. So this high is great and I'm not downing it, but really putting it into like that one or two things that you truly want to do, that's what's going to make the difference in your life. So yeah, I get like this seminar high all the time too. So I'm like, yeah, it feels great, and then like I didn't do shit, I'm like, fuck. So it happens to me, and I just want to share that just in case, if anyone else is watching too, that hey, you know what, it's great to be motivated, to be pumped about it and do it, but it's more important to focus on those one or two things. Okay, so I'm almost done. But yeah, hanging around with people that lacks a sense of direction, yeah, that's so real. Yeah. Are you aware of your character flaws? Fuck, I got a lot of flaws. Who doesn't have flaws? But it's my goal to like slowly chip that away and to become better at it, right? Like, and there's certain things that I want to be great at, and there's certain things that I don't mind being mediocre at. Like, I don't need to be the best video game player. Why? Because I felt like I did my part, and if I decide to change my mind, I will do it. But it's because of my choice, right? Not because of somebody else's opinion, right? You could be great at doing something. It doesn't mean you want to do it forever. Like, I love dancing. I don't want to teach dance. I don't mind helping somebody that's like, yeah, I can do it, but I don't want it to be a job where I keep going. Like, all right, today we're gonna do this 8 count. Um, and not to disrespect dancers or teachers, but that's just not for me. At least not now. Okay, not now. But I don't mind sharing a few things, tips and tricks. So anyways, back to character flaws. Do you have character flaws? Do you behave in ways that goes against your values? That's a very important question you want to ask yourself. Are you doing things right now that goes against your values? And if so, why? Why? So if you're out there, you're sleeping around with other people and you have a relationship and you know it is wrong, why? Okay, you better have a fucking good ass reason, all right? So, yeah, teachers in the chat, yeah. Mm-hmm. Pinky up, green tea. So, do you have values that you go? Do you have values, or do you go through life just as it flows? Right? There's nothing wrong with just going with the flow, but go set goals that's value based, so that when you get there, you're like, fuck, it's worth it. Last thing you want to be fulfilled, successful without fulfillment, right? Biggest failure you can have, Tony Robbins. And are you intentional with your focus and your mindset? Like, are you intentional? Do you want to be a good person, or you just want other people to perceive you as a good person? There's a difference. I just want to be a good person because I know how it feels like. I'm starting to feel this feels fucking amazing. Why wouldn't you want to do this? To serve something better than yourself and to inspire other people. And if I could share that and you could be a better if I could change a person every single life, that's it. Or I've made an impact, maybe as a thing I said, that's already a success to me. You know what I mean? And so if I could continue to do that, and I have a voice and I got a microphone and everything, hell yeah, best believe I'm gonna do that. But yeah, Mitchell's done here. This is the show, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. So let me kind of recap it, all right? So I did a recap earlier of why women can't find a good man, right? And there's so many reasons why, right? But the ultimate thing is this is self-reliance. It means that you have to work on yourself and you have to participate in your own rescue. Like attracts like. You must become who you want to attract, and that's where it's gonna be at. Because let's just say this, the right person, or the person that's beyond your league or whatever, comes into your life. It's attainable. That's great. Maybe you got good charisma and all that, but is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? right? And a lot of people can't say yes to that. A lot of people can't say yes to that. And so if someone really places a good high value on you and you see that on them too as well, then how do you think that relationship is going to be if you communicate, if you value commitment? Oh, you want to be you're looking for something long term? Shit, me too, right? Good, same, similar values. Oh, you work out? I work out. You like eating healthy shit? Me too. Oh, you like pizzas on the weekend? I fucking love pizza. Let's get some pineapples. Oh, you don't like pineapples? Put it on mine, right? Like shit like that. Goals and values. Do you have an aim and a direction? So focus on yourself. Don't neglect the other person. Be empathetic and start understanding people. And you're going to be in a much better place rather than going against each other. Like, all guys are like this, all women are like that. So, that's layman's term. Okay, that's the layman's term. That's a summary of it. And I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. I really appreciate your time. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon. It's what I think it's like $1.50 a month. It's literally just to support me and to doing this. I have like 10 slots. I don't always mention it, but it's there. It's available. And if you guys do find this video content of value and you know somebody that could benefit from this, share this with them and have them play it on the back, have them play it on the back. Listen, right? Zach, unfortunately I'm just about to head out, but yeah, and I had a great time. I think this episode will help people open up their eyes a little bit and be like, look, maybe it's not all on them. Maybe I'm the common denominator. Maybe I'm the common denominator, right? So hope this helps you guys. I appreciate your time as always. I am going to eat a lot of pizza and I'll take some photos. All right. But yeah, have a great weekend. And stay safe out there. All right, guys. Peace.